Yes, so been interested in water from a very young age, and it's defined my life, my career. Been engaged with water from where I've been living in the UK to where I spent some time in California to look at the water scarcity there at a young age, and then moved to Florida with the Florida Everglades and done high school projects looking at water quality issues. So it's just been my passion. I am a internationally certified water sommelier. I am the UK and Europe's leading water sommelier. I'm a judge at fine water tasting events,
Right.
and I do blogs, etc., in regards to water.
All of us are aware of wine sommeliers and no doubt beer tasters as well. But I think a lot of people listening would have had no idea that you could specialize in water in that way.
It's the number one beverage of our planet and our lives, water. And it's really looking at water like you do with wine. It's very, very similar in the sense of you talk about the terroir of wine. People get very excited about the Rioja region, for example, and how the vineyards are grown and the grapes that produce this deep red wine. Well, there is water in the Rioja region that feeds these vineyards, and there's amazing taste of water with the amazing minerals. And these are a measure called TDS, and that consists of magnesium, potassium, silica, bicarbonates. And all these ingredients in the water provide taste and mouthfeel. And some of these waters emerge from the springs carbonated. So Mother Nature infuses the CO2 bubbles of joy within the water. So it's very similar to wine sommeliers, but we're elevating drinking water, natural waters, and also tap water.
So for you to get to the source of different types of waters in different parts of the world, does it literally mean going to springs and trying water that's rolling off rocks and things like that, or does it always come to you in the bottle?
I try to visit as many as sources as possible. With the pandemic, it has been limited. However, many of these are not big brands that look after these springs. These are very sort of family-run springs that really care about the local environment, and they do send me these waters. But if you were to compare this of producing a bottle of wine and the carbon footprint of that in comparison to taking water directly from a spring into a bottle and shipping, there is a very big difference. But in life, everything has a bit of a footprint. But with water, it's a lot less natural water.
So how did you train your palate to identify different waters? And is it literally the same as wine? You would do blind tastings and things like that?
Everybody can be a water sommelier, and I encourage everybody. You don't need the title. You just need to switch off your mind, because we've never been taught to describe the taste of water. My generation, my parents' generation, and before that have never been taught or created a vocabulary. So, in my opinion, everybody that drinks water is a water sommelier, and you just may close your eyes or maybe read about where the water's from and what influences the water. And like a fine wine, you would sit down and sort of explore the taste. And you will get that eureka moment of, oh, wow, this water tastes different from a, say, volcanic source than to a natural artesian spring. So it's there for everybody to discover. And I've been providing water tasting online during the pandemic to kids, families, and I've had parents email back going, wow, my kids are so intrigued about natural water and the taste of water, they're parking up the fizzy pop. When you're talking about natural water, there's so much backstory and fairy tale, and the kids are so engaged. And I just did a water tasting event for WaterAid for the Just Water campaign, where we just drank water for the month of January. And I had a 90-year-old lady stop the conversation and say, I'm 90 years old and I have never experienced water in this way. So it's there for everybody. Let your taste buds explore the taste of Mother Nature, and I'm sure you will appreciate tap water, bottled water in a different way.
Well, I mean, certainly when we went up to Harrogate, me and my wife recently, and we were noticing the water coming out of the taps and the water in the shower as well, so much softer than where we call home, where we've got hard water. So you can kind of notice those differences. For you, you obviously, your experience of water is much wider than that. Do you have a favourite water that comes from a certain spring in a certain part of the world?
Yes, my favorite water in the entire world is tap water at home. I would consider myself as one of the luckiest people on this planet. You know, 1 out of 3 people do not have access to clean water and sanitation. So that, for me, is the best water from a tap. It's safe, it's clean. However, my personal preference is I quite enjoy silica-rich waters, which come from, say, volcanic regions. And the reason for the silica is it gives it such a smooth and soft, velvety mouthfeel when you're experiencing these waters. And pairing that with, say, desserts or dark chocolate with a little bit of carbonation is very, very nice.
Fascinating. And I know that the next step for this is, I guess we've seen non-alcoholic bars opening up in the bigger cities, water bars, places where people would go just to experience different kinds of waters. This is happening now. Do you think there will be a big interest across the country in going out and trying waters in a bar?
Yes, so I've just opened up London's first dedicated water and art gallery. So you can, and it's an experience of where you can come in and try these waters, experience a water tasting or purchase some waters. But then we have an art gallery where all of the artwork is in relation to water. And what we have at the back of the gallery is a taste experience center. There's so many people that do not drink tap water, and I'm slightly concerned about this. So, you know, I'm not here to say you should drink or you shouldn't, but as part of your drinking water lifestyle, if you are not confident with your tap or you don't like the taste, for example, then there is filtration methods. And I encourage to drink tap water and stop buying commoditized cheap plastic thinking it's better than tap water.
And I guess the final thought on this is, and you've already made reference to it, Millen, that we here in this country should be hugely grateful that we're able to turn on a tap and by and large get safe water that can keep us hydrated and keep us alive.
Yeah, absolutely right. And you know what I call tap water? It's cosmic juice. We are so lucky. I definitely encourage people to stick to the tap water or filter it if they feel necessary.